Who are the makers of Chinese paintings?
That's a great question. When we look at, we go to museums or galleries to look at paintings, and I think that often we perhaps forget about the person behind or the people behind these paintings. Who made them and who are the artists and what they look like, what they think about and how they live. And this is really important. When we talk about Chinese painting or any painting from any tradition, and we need to talk about the people who made them. And I remember the Gong Kai, the very eminent art historians say, there's no such a thing as art. There's only artists. So the people, it's very important here. And for example, the maker of this painting, who is called Gong Kai, who lived in South China, in Yangzhou and sometimes in Hangzhou area. His life was difficult, and he had, when he was a child, he had a very good classical education, but he failed several times the civil service exam, and then he ended up working as a secretary, as an assistant to an official, to civil official. But then what happened was the Mongols took over China, became the new ruler of China, and he, with a few of his friends and his officials, his superiors, and tried to fight against the Mongol, but failed. But he determined to be a loyalist to the dynasty he served, the Song dynasty he served. He refused to work for the Mongol government, and the consequence is, and he had to live in poverty. And he had no salary, and he had to paint and for sale, and wrote for sale. He's a very accomplished poet and a calligrapher and a painter. So he used his skills and for his living or for his family. And so he painted this one, which very poignant story about this is that he painted this one, he lamented the loss of the old dynasty, but he still kept his integrity, and those are the words he wrote at the end of this scroll. And I'd like to, can I read his writing about the image? Just to show you that is the writing he wrote about this image. The first he wrote a poem about this. Ever since the clouds and the mist fell upon the heavenly paths, empty have been 12 stables of the previous dynasty. Who is there today to lament over the bones of this noble steed? In the setting sun along the sandy shore, he casts a shadow like a mountain. And then he carried on. One of the classics says, a horse rips should be slender and numerous. An ordinary horse has only 10 ribs. One with more than this is a noble steed. But only a 1,000-league horse has as many as 15 ribs. If you want to paint a bones beneath the flesh, especially if you intend to make the 15 ribs visible, they will only be visible if the horse is emaciated. That's why he painted this very skeletal horse. If you counted the ribs, they are 15. And so he represents a type of artist who's not only the painter, professional painter, but also poet, a calligrapher, and he represents this group of the painters we call in Chinese history a literati. And literati is the one main type respected highly in Chinese painting history. There's another type who's not literati, who's purely professional, very skillful artist, who we called, in Chinese called 行家. Compared to literati, we called 力家. 力家 literally translate amateur artist. Amateur artists in Chinese painting history ranked very high, highly than the 行家, than the professionals, because they, in their work, they express their personal feelings, emotions, ideas. The 行家, either the professionals serve the court, imperial court, if you're good enough, or you serve the society outside the court. So basically, these are two types artists, say, are the makers of the paintings.